What's going on, everybody? I'm ltsCOOBY, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the latest patch notes for PUBG on the PC. This is currently update number 4.2, now on the test server, and today, as I record this video, it is August 14th, 2019, just so you guys can reference this in case you're watching it in the future, because this may be on the live server by the time you're watching. And if you're wondering why are we on update number 4.2, because we were just on like update number 30 or 31 for PUBG on the PC, well, they brought back the update to change the way that they're titling it to match the current season and Survivor Pass. So I'm pretty sure we are on season number 4 on PUBG PC, and I know that we're on Survivor Pass number 4 Aftermath, so they wanted to kind of match everything up and keep it more organized, which I think is a great little update to the way that they title these things. And again, we are on the official PUBG forum. If you guys were wondering, this is the best place to get the latest and greatest information for PUBG. And let's get into this update. So nothing too major here. A big change to the weather, which I'm excited for, and other than that, just a lot of small gameplay and UI fixes, but a lot of these small things go a long way, and I'm excited to see all this stuff in PUBG. So let's get into the update. So the words from PUBG here are: the season continues with update 4.2, now available on the test server, and the storm is raging on in the battlegrounds. So here we go. Erangel's overcast weather can now produce a variety of other weather conditions on the island, from thunderstorms to fog to heavy winds and even hail. So that's really excited to hear. The previous weather conditions when you were having overcast on Erangel would include thunderstorms, fog, rain. So the new ones here are heavy wind and hail. We'll talk about that later on. And while you outrun the storm, you can now plow through several new destructible traffic barricades and pylons. So here we go, getting into the gameplay. We have some improved vehicle handling with the scooter, snowmobile, snowmobike, and motorcycle with a sidecar, which all of these vehicles definitely needed, especially the motorcycle with the sidecar. A lot of people consider this vehicle a straight up death trap. We have altered blue zone edge visual effects, so when you're looking at the blue zone, kind of helps reduce the glimmering effect in the center of your screen. We got improved visibility in reticles against bright backgrounds, most notably on Vikendi's snowfield, so that should help be able to see. A lot of times when it's like light green, it's really hard to see your reticle when you're aiming on Vikendi. Then this is a pretty interesting change here. I read through this a couple times to just think about like whether this was a pro or a con or a buff or a nerf to different grenades here, because they altered the friction on the throwables. So here they adjusted the friction force of throwables to make rolling movement more consistent and predictable. So for smoke grenades, the friction force has been increased to slow rolling speed, so now they won't roll as much and they will slow down. And then stuns and frags, the friction has been decreased, so they're going to roll more. So when I first read this, I was almost expecting it to be the other way around, because I don't know how much you want frags to be rolling down the hill to just get like make them even more overpowered, because they're going to travel a farther distance. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in game and how big of a change this is. It's kind of hard to just get a full impression of it by reading this in text. Then they've added a new button here for vehicle engine toggle, and this is really, really cool, because a lot of times when you're pulling up to a complex, you might stop hitting the gas, so you kind of roll into the complex. And in this situation now, you can now hit the Z button, and this turns off the engine, so it makes the vehicle a lot more quiet, and you can roll in to a complex or maybe past a town and appear like the car is off, or make less noise and make a sneaky entrance. Also, it'll be interesting to see what button they make this on console, because we're really running out of different buttons to use on the controller. Then they're improving some of the sound options here, and they've made a button where you can reduce all sound but voice chat when you're just trying to get off some really important comms, or maybe you can't hear someone you're talking to. And they're doing a bunch of sound improvement. They have a whole dev letter regarding this coming in the future of PUBG the next 6 months or next year. So if you guys want to read about that, you can, but basically just know that they're working on improving the sound in the game. And then what we went over before, the overcast weather added to Erangel. Very excited to see that. I'm going to love the hail and all that stuff. So just to add my personal opinion to this, I know some people don't like weather effects because it makes it hard to hear, but I really enjoy the dynamic nature of the weather and how it kind of changes each individual map. And I really want to see more added to PUBG. I really like the way that, this is implemented. And even when it starts raining, it does give you the ability to maybe move where you couldn't have previously because of the decreased visibility and also the dampened noise, especially when it's like thundering and lightning. You can kind of move during those moments. And it will be interesting to see how the wind and hail is implemented. I'm sure the wind is going to probably piss some people off, but if you can move from one place to another while it's really windy out, that's going to be pretty nice. And also, it's already pretty hard to hear during the rain, so I'm assuming the hail is going to be a little bit louder and should diminish visibility even more, because rain is thicker than hail is thicker than rain. So I hope that really causes some chaotic moments in PUBG in the future. And then we have some destructible objects on Erangel. So a lot of people have complained about this in the past, including myself, that there's so many things you can run through in PUBG, like the shed, but then when you come across a small barrier or a traffic cone, your car explodes. So they've gone through and they've updated some of this stuff, and they even shout out the traffic cones in Milta, which have caused a lot of frustration over the years of playing PUBG, or months, whatever. And they've added some destructible pylons and barricades to the game that you can drive through, and then also use them as temporary cover until they blow up or get destroyed, whatever you want to say. And we'll skip Vikendi ambient noise adjustment. There you go. And then some small UI improvements, like I said. So now before in-game HUD, when you had a broken helmet, it would just show up as red. Now it has like a little fade effect here, so you can see how much it's damaged just by looking at the picture, which is really cool. So for example, it shows that your helmet is like a little bit more than half damaged, but it's not in the red zone yet. And then your vest is probably like, I don't know, 80% damaged, and now it is in the red, and most of it is faded out there. So I really like that. Just a quick little way to see what your percentage is instead of having to hit start. And then some UI changes when you're in the waiting lobby. They've dropped the HUD. And then scrolling down here, they've made performance improvements to mitigate client hitching and stuttering in certain situations. And this is pretty interesting here. I didn't know if they were going to do this. They added Erangel and Classic Erangel to custom games, so you can play on Erangel V2, what a lot of people call it, and then the old school Erangel or original Erangel. So that's really nice. I hope they eventually do this to console as well, because it basically adds another map in the game, and you can choose whether you want to play old school Erangel or the new one. They've made some updates to the replay system, and then added in some new skins and items, and then a bunch of bug fixes here that you guys can read through if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty details. But something funny that made me laugh when I was reading this morning is that they fixed an issue where the aqua rail speed while reversing was almost the same as when moving forward. So I want to go on console or to the PC live servers and test this out to see if you can really drive as fast backwards as you can forwards, just to maybe troll some people in the aqua rail, even though you don't use it that often, maybe just occasionally on Sanhok, or to get from one place to another on Erangel or Miramar. And that's about it, guys. So I'm really excited for this update. Small update here, but PUBG is moving on and being very consistent here with the updates. We've gotten like one a month, and things are looking pretty good for the game, especially after all these big updates and now the constant survivor passes and all this stuff. So very exciting time for PUBG. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a like if you did, or share it with somebody else that plays PUBG so they're aware of the new update on the test server. And as always, make sure you guys subscribe for future videos and content related to PUBG and other video game stuff. So as always, thank you all for watching. I'm ltsCOOBY, and peace out.